Fortunately, when I joined the group, they were very willing to take on board ideas that I had, and of course they were already a unit working together, and Chris and John were writing quite a few of the songs. And to use as an example, a song like Yours Is No Disgrace, which is credited to Yes collectively, it was very convenient that we were together working on it, because that meant that the ideas could be experimented with and things thrown out and things brought in as and when they needed. But to try and give you some sort of example, take a tune like, say, Yours Is No Disgrace, and the ideas that we got for that song were really from a very broad spectrum of places. And the introduction, which goes a bit like this. That particular framework was rhythmically taken from the introduction to a famous television series. We put our own chords into it and sort of arranged it as a group. And from that point, the idea of an intro, we developed that, and then we went into a theme. That was given, as a keyboard tune because just the nature of what we felt we needed at that time. And so this is different members just putting in little bits and then having it altered by other members to say, well, let's have this chord longer, let's have that chord for a shorter time. And then there was a plateau. Once that tune had been established, then the plateau for me as a guitarist was to put the icing on. So while the tune's going on, the guitar then enters with an idea I had, which was this. So this was all building out, and this was all really for the first time with me present in the group was formulating the actual scale of what we were working on. What an intro was to this group was something quite colossal. And it would last minutes and minutes, it would go by, and then eventually, of course, that intro would stop and we'd come into the main key part of the song. Now, John had some lyrics that he was working on, I think, David Foster, a friend of his, who he wrote with on the Time and the Word album before I joined. So in comes Yesterday Morning Came, a Smile Upon My Face, which was the sort of opening lines to the song.
Yesterday morning came, a smile upon your face. See the smile morning glory sailing rain. On a sailing ship to nowhere, leaving any place. In the summer change to winter, yours is no disgrace.
And what we started to do was to treat the music, each part of the music that it came, we would try to treat it differently. So when another verse came in, we maybe had a strumming guitar, and we had a walking bass, and we had a hi-hat. So the inventiveness of the group, because of its musical potential, started to show.
Jesus, Pilot's morning glory, silly human race.
And then a great moment came when they kind of threw the door open and said, well, how about a guitar solo? And with the old wah-wah pedal, you know, I went... Then once we come back to that tune, the keyboard tune, the guitar had to develop. We would keep on moving the music along. So by the time you get the last verse, then you've got a real, the full powerhouse of the group, all churning away. You've got the vocals back in, and this time you've got the full rhythm drive. So in a way we were using sparingly the ordinariness of what groups were doing at the time. And we were just trying to formulate as much as we could our own style.